Machiavellian is Illuminati all through your body. The blows like a 12-gauge shot it. Feel me? And God said he should send his one begotten son to lead the wild into the ways of the man. Follow me. Eat my flesh of my flesh. Come with me.
It's time for a new bankroll challenge, guys. Let's turn $25,000 into $5 million. All we have to do is win one tournament. Let's go to the Bahamas and win this event.
To 30 passengers that will check their carry-on bag.
Okay. I thought we were full. The agent knows.
Simon Travels.
Hi, good sir.
Product made to crumble. Was too hard for a smile. Way too crazy to be humble. We ballin'. Catch me, Father, please, cause I'm falling. In the liquor store, that's the Hennessy out here calling. Hell till I reach hell, I ain't scared. Mama checking in my bedroom, I ain't there. I got a head with no screws in it. What can I do one life to live?
Day one of the $25,000 PSPC. We're in the Bahamas. We're gonna be aggressive, fearless. We're gonna have to bluff, so let's bluff against people that can fold. We're gonna bag up around 120,000 and come back on day two.
I have two sons, so I know.
Monster.
It's gonna be really good. What up, Boski? Are you videotaping me?
$60,000 starting chips. Blinds are 100, 200 with a 200 ante. The very first hand, I get dealt ace king offsuit under the gun. We might have to put in the warm 6-bet to show him who's boss. Let's start it off with an open to 600. Action folds to the big blind, and he folds. We take down the first pot. I open to 600 in middle position with ace king offsuit. Folds to the big blind, a middle-aged Indian male who puts in the call. The flop comes jack 6-3 rainbow. He checks. We can down bet a little bit. 500 is the bet. He puts in the call. He's gonna have a lot of weak holdings here. Weak jacks, 6x, 3x, maybe even some bad straight draws. But the turn brings a queen. It's a great card for our range. We can still rep our story. He checks, and I size up to 2,000. He thinks about it for a long time. It looks like he's pretty weak, but he puts in the call. The river's an offsuit deuce, so 4-5 gets there. Could barrel, but I think he's gonna hold on with his jack X for some reason. We check, and he shows 6-3 offsuit. Two pairs good. Good thing we didn't fire that river. Blinds are 100, 200, 200 for the first 2 hours. Action folds to middle position, a Brazilian male, age 30 to 40. He opens to 600. I'm in the cutoff with 10-8 of spades. This is a good candidate to 3-bet, so we do that and make it 2,000 to go. He snap calls, so I'm not putting him on a premium at this point. Flop comes ace 7-5, the 7 of spades. Great board for us to c-bet. We down bet to 1,500 and he snap calls. Okay, he probably doesn't want me to keep firing. Turn is the ace of spades, giving us a flush draw. He checks. Time to rep that ace. Maybe even thin value with kings or queens. Bet 3,500. And he snap calls. Let's hit a spade on the river. The river is a 9 of clubs. He checks, and I just don't think he's gonna fold. We check behind, and he shows ace 4 of clubs. We're on first break. And we have 50,000 from our 60,000 starting stack. Horrible service here. You have to spend 15 minutes to buy tickets to buy food. You can't buy food with cash for some reason. So I got $6 conch chowder, and it was spicy, chewy, and almost unedible.
Oh, I love massages.
Nice. Oh, we can use them whenever?
Yeah, you can use them. Bring them all.
Anywhere, all at once. Nice. With blinds at 200, 500, I'm under the gun, +1 with pocket aces. I love pocket aces. Make it 1,200. Guy on my immediate left acts pretty strong and makes a 3-bet to 3,300. Action folds back to me. And I put in the warm 4-bet. That's right. 9,000 to go. He thinks about it for a minute and folds. Aces not cracked.
You make investments.
With blinds at 400, 800, 800, action folds to me in the small blind. I have Jack 8 of diamonds. You could raise here, but these medium strength hands are better for limp, so they can check behind with dominated jacks and dominated 8s and dominated flush draws. Or they can raise and you can still see a flop compared to raise, get 3-bet, and it's a lot tougher to see a flop. Plus they have positional advantage, so it's best to keep the pot small. He thinks about it and makes it 2,000 more, 2,800 to go. The plan was to limp call. Let's limp call. The flop comes 8-7-4 with the 7-4 of diamonds, a great flop. I check and he down bets to 2,200. He's repping an overpair, I guess. Maybe a better 8. Or he's just c-betting blindly. My gut says to check raise, go for value, but do I really want to get in stacks here? You can't have that fearful line of thought. You got to claim your equity while you have it. I should have check raised to around 7,000, but instead I'm just going for the slow play. We for sure have the best hand. If not, we have great equity to get there, even against pocket aces. I think we're a favorite. So I just put in the call, planning to play future streets. The turn is the queen of hearts, putting a backdoor heart draw out there. I check, and he knuckles. So I definitely think our 8 is good here. And all I'm thinking in my head is no ace on the river. And the river is the ace of hearts. I kid you not. So I can't bet here for value. I don't want to bet here as a bluff. So hopefully we can just check it down. I check, and he bets 3,800, a very small value-ish type bet, signifying that he did indeed hit his ace on the river. Calling just isn't profitable here. Not many hands he's just going to randomly bluff with this sizing. I think it really telegraphs the strength of his hand. So we're going to do something unheard of and turn our third pair into a bluff. We can have all the sets. We can have all the 2 pairs. We can even have a flop to straight. Or, more importantly, we could have backdoored a flush. It's very unlikely he backdoored a flush because it's very unlikely he backdoored a flush because he'd likely barrel if he picked up that flush draw equity. So, we check raise to 14,000. He is disgusted. He can't believe it. He got there with his ace rag, and now he's facing a check raise, a very rare occurrence as a bluff. He knows this is usually for value, and this 40-year-old from South America doesn't care. He's stubborn. He puts in the call. I show my jack 8, and he shows ace 3 of spades. Definitely a losing call in the long run. Who check raises rivers as turning a pair into a bluff? Only legitimate hands that I'm not turning a pair into a bluff would be like a 9-10 diamonds, something like that. Very, very slim holdings there. So good for him. He wins a big pot, and we're now down to about 50,000 chips. I put 43,700 chips in the bag.
Nice and clear, guys, and capital letters.
Still in?
Yep.
41K.
43.
You wanna ride or die? La, da, da, da.
Not the best finish, but we were very aggressive. We took a lot of spots today to accumulate. A lot of hands got through that I can't document because we played so many damn hands. Overall, pretty disappointed in a lot of the hands I played, but I'm just being honest. You live and you learn. Not in the best mindset with all the traveling, the very poor service, and various tilting factors that have occurred on this trip. So we're going to come back tomorrow as fresh as possible, hopefully get some good sleep, eat some good food if that's even possible in this atrocity of an island, and crush, bag up at least 200K and go on to day 3.